Hey everybody, Andrew with Suds to Success podcast. Welcome to episode 16. And this one, we're talking about when do you know when you're mobile? When do you get into that shop? And kind of me and Erjan go into a ton of different things we went through and kind of hardships we went through as well. And Erjan, he's yapping about his problems and it's a whole thing. So hopefully you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe and let's get on with the show. Alrighty, welcome to the 16th episode of Suds to Success. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Erjan.
And today we're going to talk about when do you make the change between mobile to having your own shop. And I talked to a guy about this today, so it's going to be actually a good conversation. But first, we'll go over it in a second. But first, Suds to Success podcast.com is our website. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you follow the show there, and you kind of get all the information there. Either audio or Spotify does video too. We're also doing clips on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Suds to Success podcast. A lot of people are liking the clips. Actually, I've had a lot of people actually mention about that. So we really want to do that for the podcast. But this is actually Erjan's idea. So he's going to kind of take the lead on this type of debate that he wants to create. He wants to get the POW and be done with it. But don't do that again. I'm going to clip that for sure. So yeah, let's kind of start it.
All right. I know your story a little bit, and I think they know mine as well. It's not the person actually that you told me to, told them to call me, whatever. He was a different person. This guy, he's been on and off, whatever. He's like, yo, when did you know kind of like when you're ready for a shop? Because he's been doing mobile for like a year now. And I was like, damn.
I mean, you start questioning your life.
Yeah, I was like, damn, when was it?
That's when I changed. I remember it was mobile. Worst thing in my life. Like, I hated my life.
I love
the detail. I love the detailing, but I couldn't deal with putting all the crap back in the car and taking half hour to load stuff up, and what a waste of time. And then dealing with customers where their cars are all there, so they're like, "Oh yeah, might as well do all of our cars." I'm like, I'm not gonna say no because I need the money. But then I'm there from like 7 a.m, like 8 o'clock at night in the summer, and it's hot. And I'm just sweating, and then you got to worry about like, where can I pee? Like, is there a bathroom I can use? Screw it. Just give up on the mobile idea. Go right to a shop where you have AC and a bathroom.
See, Andrew's living fancy nowadays. I think if you're starting mobile detailing and you are younger, if you're 50 years old and you have
my real opinion of it. Okay. I told the guy today. Guy came in my shop, messaged me. Hasn't seen the podcast. He's watching the podcast now. He actually commented on the first episode, so he's legit. Starting episode 1.
Yeah.
So I give him credit for that. And he's like, listen, I own another business. I kind of want to learn detailing. Is there a spot for me? Like, do you think I do well? Whatever. Super nice guy. Like, really wants to get better. I'm like, yeah, kind of the same thing I told you. And I said, reach out to Erjan too. And I gave him your information. He's like, yeah, I already saw his information. Okay. And he's like, what about these 3 guys? And he said a few of our other shops that are local. I'm like, you can. I go, they're not my cup of tea, but you can see what they're like. And you can kind of go from there. Yeah, you're smiling. But I'm like, no, but I want to set the guy for success. So I just said, you can order products through us. We'll get you a discounted rate. And I go, he's like, ask me everything, like all these products. And it's like, he's asking for all the tips. And I remember being that new and you just want to know everything. And he pretty much got to the point where I just looked at him and he goes, you're so successful. I go, yeah, because I made 1,000 mistakes. I go, you got to there's 2 ways I can teach you. Because he wanted to kind of work for us for free, like what I did. I can't do that because of liability. So yes. Dean back in the day for me, that wasn't as much of a thing for him because he's working on 1 car a day. He can watch me. We're working on 5 cars a day. And it's just a gong show. So I can't have really someone who I'm teaching as I'm answering the phone. It's literally while he's there, they're working on a big Ford van, like a commuter van.
Yeah.
We did 2 today. Brutal. These vans are so bad. Because they're for a company that's doing work outside, and they're using these to transport their employees. The rubber floor in the second one, they got carpet in this van. So instead of getting vinyl, they did carpet. and then got like that Princess Auto like diamond rubber flooring and then put it on top of it. It's all just peeling off and like looks terrible.
Oh.
So it's an interesting contract. I don't know. It is what it is. I want to try and they never got their vans detailed before, which is part of it. So I'm gonna try and get them on quarterly, and they're gonna be like a good quarterly customer. They want to do more like half a year, like before winter, after winter type thing. But I'm gonna try and get them on either 3 times a year or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
But what he asked me was, he goes, I said I can do 2 things, like in terms of teaching you, and because he does like a different business that's similar.
Okay.
But he's like, how do I start? I'm like, you got to talk to Erjan. It's like, Erjan's the one that went mobile to shop. I did 2 mobile jobs. I ended up in a garage. Like, it's not the same thing, right? So I just said, like, ask Erjan too. And I go, like, we'll introduce you to Dean. We'll get you, like, in a group chat with us. You can ask questions. And super nice guy, like, super wants to learn everything. And he goes, he goes, if there's one thing that I could take away from you, what would it be? I said, well, first thing, I said, be nice to people. I said, do good work. And as long as you do those 2 things, you'll be good. And he's like, is that easy? I go, yeah. And a lot of people can't do it. And the other thing I told him, my famous line that I love that you said, I go, there's one speed, go. I go, stop screwing around. He's like, I'm so scared. I'm like, just go.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what if I lose money? I go, it's a detailing business. You'll lose $3,000 and you already own another business. So you'll just own up in another one. I go, you're an entrepreneur. Like, you already said you love owning businesses.
Yeah.
What you'll learn something. If anything, you'll get to meet people, and then who knows? I might have you clean my shop if you want to do commercial, like cleaning or like whatever you want to do down the road. Like, I mean, it's always connections are what's worth the most.
Yeah.
So kind of go from there. So that's what he was asking. When do I go to a shop? Like, how did you know? And let's start with you.
Me? Honestly, at first I was like, yeah, I want to get a detail shop, do whatever detail. Then I realized, okay, I think at the time, what was I, 18? Like, bro, every dollar I made from my part-time job, I blew it. I don't have money. I'm doing like from rock bottom, and I don't want to go sit there and ask my parents, whatever. I was like, okay, how do I really do this? I'm like, I want to start something. I know I've always hated school. I wanted to start a business, always wanted to start a business. And I go, what is it? I'm watching whatever. Quickly, going over the story I said in the first episode. Watching YouTube videos. I'm like, I already clean my dad's car like every once in a while. And I'm like, why don't I just charge people for this? So I started doing it. I literally went. I was like, call my brother. I was like, what's your friend's name that has the BMW? He goes, this is his name. I'm like, okay, give me his phone number. Gives me his phone number. I call him. I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah's brother. Doing, I want to start a business. I know you have a nice BMW. I want to do it for free. He's like, okay. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this day. He's like, okay, perfect. Come pick it up from work. Me, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So I go 15 minutes early. He's not even there. Right before he starts work. He's not even there. I go in, super excited. I bought all my Walmart chemicals. In my soap and Dawn dish soap and water bucket, and I go and pick up his car, I detail it. It took like maybe 7 hours on a car that was already clean, and brought it back to him. He loved it. I was like, okay, can I post pictures? He's like, go ahead. He's like, I approve it. Bet. Posted them. Didn't think twice. Screw it. I was like, what do I have to lose? I post one car. Someone laughs at me later on down the road. Oh, did you try to start? I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna do it. So I started it. I knew nothing. I didn't know what owners. I didn't know what like.
You still don't.
Was. I do know owners.
So you still don't know nothing.
Oh, honestly, still no. Like, I'm still learning every single day. But kind of what
place to be in.
Yeah, of course. Nobody knows everything, bro. Nobody perfect. But what was I? Damn, I get sidetracked so easily.
You didn't know anything. You just had Chemical Guys products.
Oh, yeah, Chemical Guys products. And I was like, okay, so every car I got, I think I might be the first time I 3 cars. Okay. 3 cars. Then I sat down. I'm like, do I think I can get a shop? Because it's the winter's coming. Because I only did 3 cars the whole summer. So now the winter's coming. I'm like, can I really do this? So anyway, go back to school. Back to school starts. People start calling me. What the heck? They're like, you still do detailing? I'm like, yeah, but I need a garage. They're like, okay, I have one. You can work in it. There's plenty in your room. Okay. on the weekend. I schedule them for the weekend. Go do it at their house. Then I'm like, damn. Okay, now I'm in someone's house. Like, driveway is one thing. Their house, basically. Their garage is attached most of the time. I'm like, now I'm in their house. Like, this
You
is
got
pretty.
access.
I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, people are trusting me now, and I've only had like five photos or whatever. And then blah blah blah. I did that. Maybe did 10 cars over the whole entire the rest of that year. 10 cars. Second year, third year, I did probably 50 to 80. Third year, I couldn't tell you. I was like, okay, there's something that I'm like, okay, now I want to look for shops because if I'm growing constantly, whereas like if it was the first year I did 150 cars and the second year I did zero, it's like something's wrong. Whereas like if you start low and go constantly grow up, I'm like, okay, damn, okay, so start looking for shops. Then the problem came that I can't find anything. I knew nobody with the shop. I knew nobody with a commercial shop that could rent it out to me. So that problem came, and I was like, okay, I should have looked earlier. Because like I remember I reached out to a few local detailers. They were telling me like, oh, back then I got it like last year. I was like, damn, that's when I should have done it. you
But
know?
in all honesty, even when we were leasing, you always think you should do it sooner. You're like, even me, I'm like, I'm so stupid. Like, why didn't it took me a year and a half to find, like, to end up where we were in? And I'm like, we should have did it sooner. And then I looked back at it after, and it kind of gets back to this point. Like, when you're at that point, you're looking. I had real estate agents looking, I had people looking, you name it. I had literally all my customers had email blasts. I'm like, yo, I need a shop. Like, get me a place. I have 800 people on this list. I'm like, that is 1,600 eyeballs. I literally wrote that. There's 1,600 eyeballs in this email list. I go, find me a place. I go, I will give you money. And I got decent actual customers. Like, I go, if I actually lease the place, I will give you $500. And like, so the people that were like recommending some were not good. Like, I mean, one guy tried to sell me his house. I'm like, I'm not buying your house. Like just like random, right? But like a lot of people like contact my real estate agent and say I sent you. And like, so when you're dealing with high-end customers, like you actually have that potential. There's not. So you said when you're busy and things are going up, that's when you get a shop. That's what you're going to end with.
When you see growth.
Okay, so technically I see growth all the time, so I should be in a new shop every day.
If you can grow and fund the shop that and everything that comes with the shop, I think it's time to go. Because the shop, honestly, I'll say it, life gets better, man. It gets better, but it also gets a lot harder.
I don't know if it gets harder. Here's the deal.
In terms of, I'm saying it in a perspective where, okay, I wake up in the morning, I throw everything in my car, I go drive to the customer's house.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's terrible.
Well, I mean, for you, I love that. It was a peace of mind. I don't got to worry about locking.
Then why don't you offer it still, huh?
We're two guys, bro.
Oh, now you have an employee. You could leave Yusuf at the shop and you can do mobile.
I had no other option. If you have the option, I say go to the shop. But I'm saying, like, when you first start, if you're starting with
you have to start mobile. You have to start because you don't learn until you're in it.
Exactly. You don't want to be paying $3,000 a month or $2,000 a month for learning experience for shop. I mean, if you got the money.
Well, and if your business starts like that, I'm not a person to say don't do it. Yeah. Honestly, if you start like that and you're like, I'm comfortable with the risk, like, because here's the thing: if you're meant to do it, if you're an idiot and you're like walking like a 10,000 square foot shop, never detailed for and leased it or something, that's different. Yeah. I'm talking, if you're spending $1,000 a month, let's say 1,000, 1,500, like whatever, small little shop, and you're starting there and you're like, okay, I'm gonna learn. That guy might actually learn because the amount of pressure that he's like. Put it this way: like when I moved into my place, I had no business being in a shop that big. Honestly, I can tell you now, like if someone told me the amount of money I was making, really, and how much I didn't know how much money it was going to take to make that shop what it is, but I mean, still, I had no business doing it, but somehow you just make it work.
Yeah,
and that's where this is my opinion. You're meant to go into a shop when you feel you're ready.
Yeah,
and some people you're ready right off the hop. This is where I put my foot down. And we all know somebody. Me and Erjan both know somebody. Got into a shop, spent all this money, $100,000 on cosmetic crap. So got this shop, got a lease, paid all this money for fancy flooring, put the octagon lights in or the hex lights, bought all this crap, bought Rupes, put this in, put that in, and stuff that he's not going to get returns. When I got my shop, super expensive. Like I put a lot of money in I did not have. So I took a loan from family. I put money on credit cards. I did everything because I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, because this is where I'm either delusional or I believe in myself so freaking much that I just thought it was going to happen. Like I look back at it now, like everything that happened in my shop, I walked in it, it's all smashed. And there's like homeless people living in there, and they weren't in there when I walked in. But like it was like everything was stripped down, all the door, it looked abandoned. Like it was literally like an abandoned building for 3 years. And I looked at the guy, I signed the freaking lease in it. I'm like, I look back at it now, like I've said this on the podcast and to him. I'm like, why the hell did I do that? He's like, I don't know. I must have convinced you. I guess I saw his vision, and I just looked, and he's not like the most like, like where I've been like, oh yeah, he's up on the up. No, like he was just such a nice guy. I guess I just believed that he just believed in me, and he just looked and he goes, I remember because he did not like one of our competition, and I'll tell you who it is after. Like did his car, hated him. He's like, I'm gonna give you a better lease, so you put that guy out of business. Is what he told me. I literally looked at him like, okay. And the prices like so this is what I'm gonna I never had like the step between shop like you have. Like I would say yours is like a stepping stone shop. I went from a 2.5 car garage to 3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So I went into paying like $800 because it was a family member's garage a month ish to paying what I pay now, thousands. So I literally like overnight, I'm like, okay. And we moved in November. So like that's what I mean. Like when you're meant to do it, you're kind of almost forced. Like there's no missing it. Like there, some people are like, oh, like all the shops you looked at, and you're like, oh, this guy won't call me back. You're not meant to go there.
Yeah.
And that's where like it really puts me in that mind where anything you're meant to do, you can't miss it. Like some people are like, oh, you're missing out on opportunities. Don't get me wrong. I don't really ignore opportunities, but if you're meant to do it, you're meant to do it. Yeah, it's just gonna happen. Like you'll call, and then everything will go click, 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 and everything's done in a day. And you're like, I've been working a year for this, and it just all happened in a day. And like you look, that's when you know you're ready. Like there's no when you look and you're like, there's no other opportunities, like or other options where I can go. Like it's obviously I'm going down this road. I'm scared as hell. I have no business being down here. But it's almost like, you kind of just feel like you're being pushed in this way, and it's like you're going here. Buckle up, like get ready to roll. Like if you're as good of a detailer, no, but honestly, if you're, it's a ride. Like I mean, like it wasn't easy. I can tell you now. Like for it this way, I'm just starting to feel comfortable now. I've been there for 3 years, so I mean, like my stomach was in knots for 3 years. Like when you actually like now I'm at the point, and this is just me learning myself as a person. I have more people working now. I'm now like kind of pulled out of the business a bit more. Like I can actually relax and breathe. I was just going. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I'm like, hey, like I got 3 priorities right now when I moved in there. Because we moved in November. I had no money. Like I had no money. I honestly think I had $4,000 in my bank account when I moved to Walker Road. I'm like, this is my rent 1 month. And I got to pay people. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? But I made it happen. It was a slow winter. Like it wasn't that busy. And my one employee, Nick, who I had back then, he was the only one I had. So we had weeks. Like we literally had weeks where we had no cars. And like I'm just paying payroll. I'm like, okay. So at least I only had one employee then. That's good. And I had all this space. I'm like, I remember I was so scared. I'm like, so like, what are we doing today? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. So like we had nothing to do, but we made it work. And we made it through. Do I have any idea why? No. Like I don't know. I just believed in myself where it's like, this is where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to do this. I'm going to do great things here. And it was literally, I don't know if it was delusion or what. I was just drinking Andrew's Kool-Aid. I have no idea, honestly, like, but it's true. I kind of just believed in myself. I just said, like, if I'm as good as what I say I am, and I put enough work in to make it here, I'm going to make it out.
Yeah.
And I guess I have. But that's kind of how I just know. I knew what I was doing wasn't sustainable. So like where I was before, it wasn't sustainable. We were
Yeah.
capped. Like there was no expanding. Versus like where I'm at now, I'm still expanding, and
Yeah.
we're gonna cap that shop too. I already know. Like
Yeah.
we're already like this year, it's been like you can feel it. The seams are starting to. It's comfortable. Like I mean, I'm booking it comfortably, but yeah, the amount of work we're doing comfortably now with Darren and all of them working together and like them and us, um, like something that I really worked on in this last little bit is pretty much making it efficient or booking, but also making it efficient on your able and like all of our different systems. Like when they walk in, they know how long this should take, and like they have all the tools they need to do a good job. Before they didn't. It was kind of like here are the keys, pull the car in.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's just takes forever. And then you're like, what's going on? They have no idea which way is what and where that they're doing and where's this car going and blah 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 and when's this guy coming and versus now it's so fluid and it's so easy. Like we did 2 of those commuter vans today, and that guy came that wanted to learn, and I'm just talking to him. They're working on this commuter van, and Darren, he goes, yeah, 'cause I had to answer a phone call from a dealership, and he was talking to Darren and Nick and Taylor, and they're all working, so he's asking questions, and Darren's just in this van. Like, I mean, this guy, he's just, and it's like dirty, rocks are in it. Like, it's literally a car they're moving like skilled trades people in, like
Okay.
outside in a parking lot. Like, it's just destroyed. And Darren's in there just, spraying all clean all over because all vinyl floors. So he pulled the seats out and he's just doing it. Like, I mean, I was so proud of him because he was doing the worst job that there was there. Not that the other 2 weren't working, they're doing fantastic. But he not even, he didn't complain once. He's
Yeah.
like just in the back of this thing. He's cleaning it up. Nick's helping him. He's just in there. Like his pants are all wet.
I've met Darren a few times. I feel like you just give him a task, like he's gonna just do it.
He doesn't complain.
Yeah.
He's so thankful to be there.
Yeah.
He's so happy. And like I joke with him. Like I'll make fun of him and stuff. And like we'll joke back and forth. And it's fun because he's getting like he's realizing that we're joking, right? Like so like when I say something, I have really dry sense of humor. He'll look at me for a second and think I'm serious. And he's like, oh, you're kidding. I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'm not right. But honestly, he's such a good guy. And like I'm so happy with him. So it's kind of, because it kind of went long rantish. In my opinion, there is no good time. I think, you just kind of know. And when it happens and it presents itself, you're just going to know when you're ready. And in your journey, it might be, you might start off in the 3,000 square foot shop and you're going to make it work. What I do look at though is, don't be stupid with your money. So like when you get the shop, my shop had terrible floors for the first year and like they're peeling, they look terrible. No one cared. And it bothered me for a year, and then I painted the floors, and now people give me tons of compliments, and we get tons of work because of it. It's so stupid. These painted floors, it was like $2,000. So like back in the day, that was such a big deal for me to pay, and we did it. It took a year, but I was able to put the money aside, and I just kind of made it happen. I forget what holiday it was. I'm like, I'm painting my floors. Do I have the money? No. I just made all this cash show up out of nowhere. Like I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm just gonna make it happen. And people are looking at me like, what? I'm like, I don't have $2,000. And because I got the quote and everything, and we painted it. So I got the quote and everything, and I just looked up and I said, I'm painting my floors in 2 weeks. So I go like, I remember I just said like, make the money show up, and I honestly, that's what I do. I manifest a lot of stuff, and then literally the next week, guy comes in, got a coating, said, okay, I'm gonna pay you, and I said, if I'm meant to paint my floors, make the cash show up in my shop. Guy came in. I want to coat my car. I said, is this price plus taxes? Okay, can I pay with cash? Or, yeah, as long as you pay the tax. Okay, done. I'll pay with cash. I looked. It was like $1,998 and like 96 cents. I looked and I just said, paying the floors, and we painted them.
Was that the one I helped you on?
Yeah.
One before?
No, that. Yeah. So what was there before? Yeah, it was such a mess. That floor.
Who was that? Was that from the flooring from before?
Yeah, we didn't touch it. It was rough. Yeah, but that's my main thing is like, don't focus. I don't want to say don't focus on the image. Focus on what's important. It's like to me,
making money.
Yeah, make money. Get the people in the door because, and now to be fair, am I forever thankful for those first few customers that came through my door there and like it was just a mess, nothing was organized? Of course. But you get over it. And now they come back. And yes, I do favors for them because I'm like, I remember Like I remember my first customers when like my garage doors were nice, next door's all smashed. Like literally just got broken into. And I'm like, and they're dropping their cars off. I'm charging them like $1,000 or whatever. And yeah, it was scary. But yeah, you kind of just know and you're just gonna do it. And I don't know if you agree with that or if you have like a set.
I was just about to say I was gonna cut you off, but I felt like I shouldn't. You were going on a little rant, so I was like, let him have it. But when you said that the you'll kind of know because it's kind of meant for you type of thing, I looked at probably I want to say 20 spots in total before I got my shop, and Andrew knows this. I talk to my dad a lot. Like I'll tell him like, okay, but like, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? What do you think of this? But I like to get his opinion on a lot of things. Um, and I go
Which
in,
is smart.
yeah, I go because like he's been through life, right? So he goes, I go, oh, look, let's go check this place. He's like, yeah, tomorrow. I was like, okay. I was like, so I tell the guy, my real estate agent guy, I go, yo, tomorrow I'll book it, whatever. He goes, okay, no problem. It would always be like tomorrow, pushed, whatever. Random day. Well, random day. Okay. Um, random day. I get a phone call. This guy goes, "Hey, I'm looking to detail a car." Okay, what kind of car? He goes, "A Lamborghini." I'm like, put it on mute real quick. Started jumping up and down. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm like, what can I do for you? He goes, I want to get the interior clean, and then I want to do a wash. But then, do you do ceramic coatings? I'm like, no. Actually, funny you ask. I'm looking for shops right now to be able to do ceramic coatings indoors, like in a shop, and to polish paint to learn that. He goes, really, eh? You're looking for shops? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know what's funny? I'm like, what? He's like, my son just put in his like last month's rent at his shop from before. Like he used it for storage. I think it'd be a good spot for you. I'm like, wait, what? And I asked him, wait, what? And he repeated it, and I go, okay. I'm like, where's the address? Send me the address. I'm like, dang, that's far. For me, it was like 20 minutes away, but at the time I thought it was far. Oh, dang, that's far. And I was so nervous. It's like, you know what? Screw it, whatever. Booked his Lambo in. I was like, how about we do this? I said, if you get me this shop, I said, I promise you, when I learn ceramic coating and paint correction, I'll do it for a discounted rate. He goes, deal. Here's the landlord's number. Okay, bet. I call up the landlord right away. Dude, I didn't wait a second. As soon as I ended that phone call and booked that in the Lambo, I ended the phone, call that number. Call him, guy answers. My landlord now. Love him, bro. Love him. Such a nice guy. He goes, hey, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I go, hey, I got it from this gentleman. I don't want to say his name, but I got it from this guy that his son put in the thing. Yeah, of course. I'm like, okay, would you rent it out for a detailer? He's like, yeah, I've kind of always wanted a detailer. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we have a big company, and he's like, we have a lot of trucks, we have a lot of employees, whatever. He's like, we're kind of always like, it would be a cool idea. Me and his business partner, he's like, we always like thought about that idea. We just shot it back and forth, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm your detailer. Swear to God. I'm like, let me. Can I check out the spot? He's like, yeah, come by around 3:00. No problem. Go to my dad. Go, Bubba. Can we go check out the spot? He's like, yeah, we'll go at whatever 3:00. Okay, damn. I was like, you can tell me tomorrow. I'm like, okay, let's go. 3:00 comes. We go in, meet the guy, whatever, shake his hand, meet some of the employees that are working inside, and super nice guy. I felt like I was at home, and I still tell them to this day, I feel like I'm at home here. And I walk in, whatever, greet him, I tell him blah blah blah. We start talking numbers. He goes, "Why don't we go see it?" Okay. I see no pictures, bro. I don't know where the hell it was. Nothing. Walking in blind. He opens the door. I look at this garage door, and I'm like, I remember looking at it. I was like, that is massive. That is massive. I'm like, you could fit a bus in here. And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I look at my dad. And out of all the shops we went to together, some I went to alone. A lot of them I went to alone, but some that he came with me, he'd kind of like be like, nah. I could see it in his face. But as I'm walking around, whatever, looking at like how many electrical outlets, if there's a hose thing, and my dad and the landlord are talking, and he never seen my dad with a smile. Like at a shop, I've never seen him with a bigger smile. I'm like, okay, I think this is gonna go well. So I go up to them, talk to them, like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, how much? Tells me a price. I looked at him. was like, you got yourself a deal. He's like, okay. He's like, when you want, he's like, at the end of the month, um, come by, pick up the keys. Okay.
Now what? Yeah, that's what I did. I remember that's exact.
That's
And
when I started texting you. Now I was like, okay, damn, okay. I remember I had $500, pulled it out, gave it to him. Take it. This is my deposit. Don't give it to anybody else. I called the guy up at the Lambo. I goes, bro, thank you so much. I got a shop. Yay, whatever. All fanboy and excited. And I did keep my promise. I gave him a really, really good discount on his ceramic coating. But anyway, it's like you said, it's like when you know your time is right, like when you know it's right for you, everything just flows, bro. And I think we were there maybe, I swear to God, 10 minutes.
yeah,
Walk in, look around, nice place, whatever. And I'd smile. I was like, okay, let me go ask him. Say, how much for the rent, whatever. He goes, oh, this much. I was like, deal. My dad looks at me. He's like, you did a good job. Like, now my biggest problem was I started stressing. I'm like, bro, this is far. This is far. This is far. Like, my customer's going to come, blah, blah, blah. Brother, I've never thought about that since that day. Never. I love the customers out there, man.
yeah, because you'll get more. But even me, like I didn't move that far, and I'm about 10 minutes away from where I was, 15. And even me though, I was like, are they gonna come that far? And you get to the point where you're like, who cares if they don't? Like it's like,
dude, now it's like I honestly I haven't thought about that in maybe the last year and a half.
yeah.
The first half I was kind of stressing, but like last year and a half, I don't remember.
And I think maybe that's why I picked my landlord now. Is you kind of just feel at home. He was just so
It's weird. It's like soft tone, just like
comfortable.
chill.
Yeah,
calm.
yeah. And I looked, yeah, and he was. We were walking through it. And he was such a comfortable guy, just calm. And I'm like, how are you calm in this? It looked like a bomb went
He's
off.
like, it kind of is what it is, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right. It is what it is. Like, damn, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know.
But what that does is it creates a great business relationship. So even like me and him now, like in terms of like my landlord, 'cause he's next door to me. And it's just easy. No, but it's easy. Like for the most part, like us talking, he doesn't feel like a landlord.
No.
Like I've heard horror stories about like businesses dealing with their landlord, like they yell at me. I'm like, I just walk over. I'm like, yo, like this is a problem. Like, all right, I'll fix it. I'm like, all right, like easy. Like I'll just text him up or his son or whatever, and it's just fluid. Like it's almost like we're not there. And that's what I'm sure what he wanted in a tenant. See, he bought a big building and he was jumping into it both feet. Like he felt what I felt, but I was on a smaller scale. So he jumped into this whole building and like literally the day I did his Porsche and he looked and he's like, I'm trying to find someone to rent part of my building because I don't need the whole thing. I can't afford it. I want pretty much he wants someone to pay the mortgage so that he can just run his business and it's done.
Mhm.
So he's looking for tenants, and literally the day he put the offer in, he met me, and we just talked. And I'm like, I go, yeah, like I do cars. He's like, so what do you need? He's like thinking like, what do I need to do this building? I'm like, I need a box. I need 4 walls and a roof. I need an AC unit, heat, and a drain. He goes, okay, there's no drain. We will figure that out and work on that. I will get you that room. Like, okay. And he offered me 2 options. He goes, do you want 2,000 square feet or 3? Because either 2 garage doors or 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the difference in price? It was $400 difference or something like that. I'm like, screw it. Give me the 3. Like, if I'm going to go bankrupt, it's not because of $400. So I literally told him that. And I'm like, no. And thank God I didn't. Thank God I did the bigger amount. Like, oh, I remember I asked Ivan, I'm like, it gave me these 2 options. He goes, if you get the smaller one, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like, all right, gave me a great deal on the lease in the beginning, and then it fluctuates over the amount of time there, so it goes up. But yeah, and he's such a nice guy. I mean, for a landlord, he's so easygoing. I mean, he's busy. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel any landlord's busy. So, but like in terms of like when something goes wrong, I can literally go over, and it's not like I'm waiting. Like like I know someone that their landlord's in Toronto. Like I wait 4 days for a
You never
response.
see him, like you've
Yeah.
never met them. Yeah.
Versus this, I just walk over, I talk to his wife or him or their son. I'm like, this happened. Like, I need this fixed. Okay, yeah, we'll work on it
No
right now.
problem.
Like,
Done.
yeah.
Done. I remember I had a panel or thing in my little side room that was kind of an addition, so it was kind of like kind of lousy built, I guess you could say. Sorry to the landlord. Love you guys. But I go, hey, like this is kind of like literally looks like it's gonna fall on my head if I walk in here again. And And he goes, okay, no problem. Goes 2 seconds, grabs the drill, comes back, done. I'm like, okay, fast. The drain under the sink was like kind of leaking a little bit. His business partner comes out. He goes, yeah, no problem. Goes back to their shop, comes back, fixes it, done. I'm like, damn, you guys are fast. And the other day, I was changing my door closer. The bolts they gave me started snapping. I don't know why. They just like literally. I think if I had if I had gloves that I would squeeze the thing and it would probably break. Anyway, so I text him. I go, hey, do you have these bolts by chance? He goes, comes back, literally comes running, bro, out of the office, running, bro. He brought me the impact gun with the bit and brought me a brand new bolt. I looked at him, I was like, holy, bro. Yeah, you want me to put it on too? I was like, no, you're busy. He's like, nah, I'm chilling. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you can watch me do it. Make sure I'm doing it right. I was messing around. Put it on, whatever. He goes, that's it. I'm like, that's it. He's like, okay. Have a good one. I'm like, what the hell, bro? It's like, how did I get blessed with this opportunity? Most of those shops, I told my dad this probably 3 months ago. Look at my dad, and I go, Baba, I cannot be any happier where I am right now. He goes, what do you mean? I go, things, if I still have a problem, it's fixed. Every morning I go there, it is literally like a meet and greet. It's like seeing all the employees. Their employees are amazing. All the guys that work around there, all the girl, whatever, all the office ladies, amazing, bro. Landlords, amazing. And I'm like, every morning I get this rush of dopamine. It's 7 a.m., 7:30, whatever, 8 a.m., and I'm like half asleep. I walk in, hey, honk, honk, hey, honk, honk, hey. And then I always had Otavio, my man, Otavio, he always says, you ever go home? Because I usually get there before he does and leave after he does. So they always kind of pick on me. Like, you ever go home? Do you sleep here? Like, do you live here? Like, where's the mattress? So, no, but honestly, it's like a rush of dopamine. You feel like comfortable there. You know, I'm not like, like looking out the window, looking, if someone's coming out to get me.
Well, like how I describe it is when you get that feeling where you're like, I'm in the right place.
Yes.
Like, because it gets to the point where this is scary. And then, you get through that. You get through it. You just do. And then you get to a point where everything still might not be figured out. And you're like, I have no idea why I'm here. But you just look and you stand back for a second and you look at the shop that's yours and your sign's up or whatever. And then it just clicks. And you're like, I built this. Like, I literally have a picture. It's somewhere. And it's literally me looking up at the shot. I think Nick took it or someone took it. I have my Excelsior hoodie on, my pants, and it's like literally has my logo on my back. I'm just looking up at the sign, and I literally I put I either put it on Snap or my story or something. And I just wrote, I did it. And it's not to like brag. Like, I don't brag that I have this shop. It's not like, trust me, like, you don't want the headaches I had to go through to get it. You just don't. Like, normal people wouldn't want them. And but now it's kind of just like you look at it and you're like, I'm meant to be here. Like, all these things that we're doing now, like even, the training we're doing this weekend, all this stuff we're expanding. And you look and you're just like, yeah, like I wouldn't be able to do it where I was before. Like, there's 0% chance. We were parking in the backyard. Like we had cars all over the place. And now it's like, it's so professional, or we're getting contracts. Like I was telling the guy today, because he was looking at like the vehicles we were working on. He was like, how do you get these contracts? I go, you want me to tell you a secret? So, and this is one of my best things I ever asked. And then when I started there, my mechanic at the time does a lot of government work, a lot of fleet work, a lot of contract work. And I looked at him, and I remember he kept bringing his card to me. I'm like, listen, but he's like such a chill guy. Like, you never know. And you'd never, I just looked at him, and I'm like, what do you do? Like, what can I do to get to the level you are? And he just looks at me, and like, you would not even know this guy owns a business. Looks at me and goes, it's time, brother. I do crap work.
Yeah.
And I sat back. I was so mad. I'm like, what the hell kind of answer is that? I really know what he means now. What he's saying is, you don't have to do the best work. It just takes time, and people will start trusting you. And because the business has been there for like 50 years. And I look and I'm like, what a stupid thing to say. Like, I was so mad. Like, I'm like, give me the key. Like, I want to know how to get these jobs. So the guy asked me today, he goes, how do you get these? I go, honestly, I used to chase these people. He's like, Yeah. I go, now they're chasing me.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in that spot. Like this, they just called and said, we have 6 vans we need done. I'm like, okay. We booked it. We booked one. They're like, can we bring another one today? I'm like, no. I'm like, these are big. I'm like, I'll see, but I'm like, I can't promise anything. Call her at noon. Okay, we'll have it done, or 11:30. We'll have it done at 12:30. If you want to bring the other van, we'll work on it. I can't get. I'll have it done for tomorrow. Okay, that's excellent. You said we're already a third of the way done the fleet. I'm like, yeah. I go, I can't guarantee, it's going to always be like this.
Sure.
And now I told them, they're like, okay, we have pickup trucks too. I'm like, okay, I'll do them. Like, whatever you want. Now I'm trying to push them into a fleet package so we're seeing doing them more often. But I go, that's literally a week's worth of interiors. Like, that's thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Like, I looked at them because they're like beat tired today. I go, you realize that you just made $900 in vans today? And they're like, what? I go, you realize like all that work you did, that's $900. Like, so, like, yeah, you worked hard, but like you made the business a lot of money today. Like, this isn't actually a profitable contract. It sucks. Like, it's not gonna be like when I do literally their week of like just vans and trucks, they're gonna want to kill me. Like, I'm fully prepared to get stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
good. But I said, this isn't bad. Like, if we're doing these in the winter, we have a week's worth of work. You know how big of a deal that is?
You're not
Like,
paying people to shit around. You're making money. They're making money actually too, because you can buy them stuff. You can afford to, maybe give them a raise or some whatever it might be, right? So
yeah.
it's everybody's happy. But I mean, in the moment, especially with the first time you do it. So I remember like the first day we had 3 or 4 cars with Yusuf. Brother was toasted. I remember at 4:45. He goes. He just passes out on the chair like this. I'm like, "You tired, buddy?" Oh my god, I felt so bad, but I was like, honestly, I told him, I was like, listen, if it's too much, let me know. He goes, no, it's my first time doing that much. I was like, okay. So if you need to take more breaks, let me know.
Darren today, so he's doing the van. He's on his hands and knees, like vacuuming this vinyl floor. And I used the leaf blower, blew all the rocks out of it, but like still on his hands and knees and whatever. And he looks and he goes, "Why am I getting cramps like right here, like in this muscle in my thumb?"
Oh,
like,
those are the worst.
yeah. I go, "Yeah, welcome to being a detailer." He's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "It's from holding the vacuum."
Yes.
And he's like, I go, we have muscles in very weird places of things
Yeah.
that we do. We bend over a lot. We lift things. We do this all the time. He looks and goes, yeah. I go, yeah, it's normal. We all have it. Like, I'm really sure. I'm gonna go look at mine, like how much like muscle I have just in like that muscle
Oh,
there.
it's crazy.
And he goes, oh, okay. So then he goes back to work. Well, you can take a break. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, listen, like you could take a break, whatever, but it's one of those things where you kind of you kind of get like better judgment, I guess you could say, as
Yeah.
you start to feel it out, right? So one of those things that they come as they go. They come as they go.
So I guess the answer we kind of got to with when you know it's the right time is
You'll know.
you'll know. And like, is that the most like anti like throughout like
So broad.
yeah,
So
it's
broad.
terrible answer. But so here's the answer that's analytical. Are you happy with where you're at now? The answer is yes, but you need something to change. Most likely it's your shop, it's your environment. More than likely. When you get a shop, even if you're complaining about customers, you're like, oh, these customers suck, it's because you're probably not charging enough. And when you get the shop, you can then say I charge more because I'm now in a shop. I gotta pay rent. I gotta do this. My expense has gone up. So, and most people would be like, oh, that makes sense. Like when I went from a 2.5 car garage to a 3,000 square foot shop and I raised my prices a year and a half later, no one said anything. They're like, oh, makes sense.
Yeah,
And
actually, you're right. Yeah.
no one says nothing. No one even notices. And then it makes you look. You're like, okay, now we're making X amount of dollars more a week because I raised my prices this amount, and no one said nothing. So how often can I do this? Is where it gets to, right?
Yeah.
So to answer the question, most of the time, if you're experiencing any type of problems in your business, other than if it's cash flow, I mean, it could be a cash flow fixer too, but other than if it's cash flow, most time is change your environment. and look for that shop. And my biggest advice would be never say no to a shop unless it's too big. But I mean, like if you're doing a detail and like you're detailing a nice guy's car and he's like, oh, like I'm a landlord, always look at that property with him. Doesn't matter what it is.
100%.
Always be open to receive. And you can always say no. Like
Remember
you
the
know,
one I went to?
yeah.
Real quick story. Andrew knows this, but call him Andrew was excited like a little girl. But anyway, so I have one of my customers fix up his car nice, make it look good, whatever. He was super happy. He goes, he's just looking around. I'm like, what the hell is this guy looking at? He's just like zoned out, looking around and everything. He goes, how much you pay? I didn't really tell him I didn't tell him the accurate price of what I pay. I kind of just gave him a ballpark. I go,
And that's always what you do.
Yeah.
Never tell them what you make what your rent is. Always tell them either more than what you're. So like if they're asking like how much do you pay and like you think he's a landlord, always say you're paying more.
Yeah.
Or less, or like vice versa. Like trying to figure out what you're doing, because never say because what they're gonna do is they're probably gonna come in right under it. So if you say like let's say you're paying $5,000, or no, always say less. I mean not more. So let's say you're paying $5,000. And they're like, oh, like how much do you pay? Or say like 41. And then what that does, they go, okay, I'll get 38 because we want you. Like like so you're like, oh, I just saved like $1,200 or like whatever the number is.
So I go. He's like, you want to check it out? It was the winter. I had nothing booked. I was like, yeah, let's go right now. Follow him there, whatever. He goes, shows me it. Huge. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I was like, it's kind of like in the same situation where it's like it's in the trades area, whatever. But the one thing I liked about it had pavement. I have gravel road, but it had pavement and massive, bro. Like when I tell you, I don't think it's as big as your shop. It's kind of like if you kind of take a good chunk of it out, but it was wider and a lot longer. And I'm like, I remember I took a picture of it. I have a picture on my phone. Every once in a while, I'll go look at it. I'll look and I go, this is it. I already, in my head, I'm like, okay, wash bay here, this there, this, that, chemical rack there, this, that. I'm like, I'm going to put a sign here that says done. For cars that are not. I start imagining it. I'm like, okay, this is it. Talking to him. He's like, yep, this is my price. I go, okay. Then I called Andrew. Sorry, I asked him about the drain. I was like, does the drain work? He's like, I don't know. Like, okay, well that's a red flag. I look at the bottom of the garage door, it's rusted. Like literally, I've never seen a garage door rusted. It's literally rusted. Like, that's gonna be a problem. And he's like, okay, well fix that part. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And I go, where does this door lead to? There's a random door in the middle of the wall, random door, and it's just sitting there. I'm like, it's like boarded up and caged up. I was like, okay. And I go, where does this lead to? He's like, oh, the other side of the shop. I'm like, so what can we do about that? He's like, we can put a piece of plywood there. I was like, no. Like, you're going to, like, fix it properly. I don't need some guy walking in on me while I'm power washing a car or something, and whatever. So, blah, 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 yada, yada, whatever. I called Andrew. I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Andrew asked me all, like, the hitter questions. How many electricologists? I'm like, bro, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, where does the drain go? I said, I don't know. I asked him. He doesn't know. Andrew's asking me, where is this? How many lights are in those ceiling? I'm like, brother, I don't know. I was just so excited to see if they stop. And so I call Andrew's like, set up another thing. So I called the guy right away. I was like, hey, can I book another viewing? He's like, yeah, for sure, blah, blah, blah. It was right around Christmas time. He's like, we'll do it after Christmas time. I'm like, okay, no problem. I texted him the day after Christmas. Don't shame me in the comments, but I was like, screw it. I didn't want this shop. Texted him, no reply. Okay. Waited a week, called him, didn't reply. Waited another week, texted him, didn't reply. I was like, okay. February, midway through February, almost the end of February, he calls me. He's like, hey, you still looking at that shop? I'm like, no. He goes, I'm so sorry, I was busy. I was like, no, I'm not looking at it. And I was just like, there's no way it's going to take 2 months for me to get this shop. If it was meant to be, it would have happened at the time.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to take me 2 months to even book a viewing. Because I didn't even know how many electrical outlets there were. So I was like, I'm going to still go through the booking process, see how long you take to figure that out.
Well, and the other thing that you're not saying, too, is you're also looking at possibly another shop in that time frame, too.
Oh, yeah. And then Andrew hit me with the question. Yo, you brought that up, right? Andrew hits me with the question. He
So-
goes, if
So
you got
Erjan had two opportunities, two
Oh, yeah.
shop opportunities that came up at the same time. You had this one that you were really amped about, but then you also had another one
that
that
was right.
yeah.
And it's a funny story. That shop, the really amped up one, yeah, fell through twice. Anyway, this is not meant to be. But so whatever that situation, whatever. I don't know. Should we talk about it or no?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get mad.
Okay.
We don't need to bring that up.
So anyway, that shop, it was supposed to be mine twice. Never happened. I'm so happy it did. Anyway, that shop, the other shop, Andrew asked me. He goes, if you got the shop that you're looking at now, so the one who is my customer, he goes, if you got that one, would you regret it?
Yeah.
Regret it over the other one?
So because this is what was happening. He was looking at two shops at once. The one that fell through twice, he's like, I don't know, like, it's promising, whatever. I said, okay. The only question you have to ask yourself during this process, because the first one is customer, he's like, I really want it. Like, he's really amped for it. He goes, I think I'm going to take it. I said, okay. If you are 100% certain that you're going to be happy with that, do it. And he's like, well, I don't know. Okay. I said, if you get it and then that other shop comes available, will you regret it that you're stuck now at this one? He's like, no, never. Like, think about it for 24 hours. Like, okay. 24 hours goes by. He goes, yes. I'm like, and you're kind of at the point. You kind of know what you want to pick.
Yeah. So,
And
go ahead.
I didn't see the first one. I saw the second one. So the one that fell through multiple times because we built it. And I mean, I don't think there was a wrong answer. And it might also be that you just weren't ready at that time to do it.
Yeah. There was a lot of contingencies. Is that the word? Like things tied to it that I didn't really want to deal with.
Yeah, but let's say now, like, it might still come available again.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
Without the stuff and all that stuff, dude, no brainer. Even if it was the stuff, we have storage units so they can run.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. Like, it's not. People ask me like all the time. No, people ask me all the time. They're like, like, how do I know it's the right time? I go, you just do it. You kind of just. I'm not the guy to ask because, like, literally, I have one mode: go. Like, I'm going to just do it. And like people, like my employees are like looking, they're like, you're nuts. Like, you're literally like a squirrel on crack. Like, literally, like honestly, because it's like I'm doing 300 things at once. It's like, okay, I'm selling these mats. I'm selling this. Like, customer came yesterday. Random guy came in. And he's been with me forever. So he texts me, he has my personal phone number. He's a friend of a friend. And then so I'm like, oh, here's my personal phone number. So now he does all of my work talking on this personal phone. So he's literally the only guy that has the personal phone number that always calls it when he needs to book his car. He'll call at 7:00 at night. He'll call like whatever. Chillest guy ever though. He's our age. It's like he's not like just text me up. He goes, picture of him in front of a new pickup truck. That's it. And I'm like, congrats, man. Like, he drove by, like, before he dropped by and was saying he might get a truck, and he had a Cadillac before, like, a car. He's like, I don't like this car, whatever, it's stupid, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm getting a truck. All right, sends me a picture. And he goes, when are you doing that tint training? And I'm like, literally, like, this weekend. He goes, put me on the list, man. I'm ready to go. Like, let me do the training. I want to figure everything out, and then I'm gonna do a few cars first, and then I'll put you. He goes, no, put me on the top. He goes, film, man. He's rip it off. Like, if you did a bad job, just rip it off.
Yeah.
So then he pulls in, and as I look at his truck, carpet and mats. I'm like, brother, like, you need like weather tech. He's anal about vehicles. I'm like, you need like weather techs. He goes, no, like, I think I want to do it with the carpet at once. I'm like, dude, like, I'm doing an order. It's coming like in 2 days. Like, I need to know by tomorrow at 5. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna pass on him. All right, I'm gonna reach out to you tomorrow and ask you. And like, think about it. Look how dirty these mats are already. And you've only had it for 4 days. So okay. Text him. I have a reminder. High level reminder. 9:30. Reach out to so and so about WeatherTech mats. Text him. Hey man, you sure you don't want those WeatherTech mats? All right, you sold me. Put them on the order.
No, honestly, yeah, that's
But like for him, and that's what I told him. I'm like, well, I'll take care of you. Like he goes, okay, I want a ceramic coating on my truck. I want to do tint. I want to do the maps. Let's just do it all at once. I'm like, okay. And it's all about kind of when you're moving, you get really good at putting things into motion. It's like how many balls can you juggle at once? I'm juggling like 18 balls at all times. Do I care that if I lose 3? Like so if I'm juggling, going like throwing them up like in a circus, right?
Yeah.
Get your head out of the gutter. So, but no, honestly, if you're juggling a bunch of things at once,
yes.
do I care if I lose 3 of them?
No.
No, because I still have, what would that be? 15?
Yeah.
15. I'm still juggling 15 things. You're juggling 2. And you're like, he goes, what if I lose my ball? What if I lose one of them?
That ain't Mika. That's
And I'm like, oh, well, I just lost 4, but I still got whatever, 14
yeah,
or whatever.
Man. Don't
Right?
undermine me.
No, but you're getting better at it. It takes time to get.
Honestly, I've noticed it's one of those things. I was gonna actually call you about this the other day. Is I was doing like you're able. I was trying to set up something on Go High Level. I'm gonna bother you about that on Tin Training Days. Don't worry. You got a blank slate on there, brother. I can't figure that stuff out.
You got 4 hours, so bring your laptop.
You're gonna have a lot of talk. It's gonna be another podcast episode. We
That's
should do a
fine.
live stream. Anyway, doing this, doing that, and I'm like, holy, like Andrew would be proud. And I literally said that to myself. I was like, Andrew would be proud. And I go, but then after, like when I was off the computer, and I go, damn, like I got that, and that done. I'm like, holy. I'm like, I redesigned shirts, did the website update, add this form, added window tinting to the website, add this, but I'm like, holy, bro. Like, that was pretty cool. And I was like, 2 hours, 3 hours? I was like, okay. Pretty sick. And I'm like, I can see where you get the edge from. Like, the freaking crazies to go be all the time busy. Don't get me wrong. I love being busy. But then it's like, after hours, I'm like, whereas you're dead at night.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you're
once it's
all the way-
5,
you're going,
like,
and then it's
so put it this way, and this is also because people in my life, they're like, you're not working when you're at home. Like,
yeah,
there's zero, like, girlfriend will not tolerate me working at home. If I see your work phone, I will smash it. I'm like, okay, like joking.
yeah,
But like really. And what that did was so she's on, like, she's out of town now. And she was like at a work thing. So I'm like, oh, I'm on my laptop. So I'm on my work laptop, like doing clips for the podcast. I'm like, I felt so gross. Like so gross working. I'm like, ugh, like why am I doing this? Like I literally like, cause I'm like, oh, like I can just do it. She's not here. Like she won't care. And she's gonna like now give me shit now that I just said it right now and she's watching. But like honestly, so like, I'm doing it. I'm like why am I like I don't have to do this. Like I run a business. Like I'll do it during the day. So I finished them up during the day today. And but yeah, like because it's also I said this tons of times. It's not how long can I work. It's what can I do in 8 hours. And that's what you got to get good at. Is what can I do in 8 hours? And if you're like you're like, oh, I've been working on High Level for 4 months and I still can't email things and what, brother, you could really do it if you wanted to.
you might be right. Yeah.
Like honestly, you could if you wanted to, and that's kind of where it goes. Is you could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's it. Where it's like me, it's like I gotta get this done. It's like that's another thing the guy asked me today. He's like, what do you think that you do makes you different than other people, like your competition? And I said, and he said, what do you do in the wintertime? Because that's always the number one detailer question. I go, I'm so thankful for the wintertime. He looks at me like I have a hole in my head. I'm like, I build so much stuff in the winter.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I go, podcast, we built it in the winter. I go, it's doing pretty well. I said, I did this. I built this product website in the winter, fully built it. Ground up. Built a bunch of follow-up sequences. Ground up. Did a bunch of landing pages for ads. Ground up. Winter. Tons of things. All my ideas. Window tinting. That was a winter idea. I mean, you talked about it. I said, let's put it into motion. And then once I had Paulo on, I'm like, screw it. We're doing it now. And I remember I called him like, yeah, because you were sick. And I called you the day later. I'm like, yeah, we're doing tint training. This is the date. And we tried to do a different day. It didn't work for you. And I'm
Because
literally like, I'm just texting.
we tried for a while though. Remember when I was
Yeah,
like, hey Andrew, like do you
yeah,
know
yeah.
anyone to
That's
like
what I mean. When
you
things
know?
click, though,
Yeah.
there's nowhere. Like I'm like, I remember it was like a day.
Yeah.
Paul gave me the trainer's number. I'm like, yo, I want to do tinting. Like literally, like so this would have been April, and I'm like, I want to do tinting. Like, hook me up. He's like, I'm doing training in like London, so close to us, in June, like the end of June. I'm like, I'm not waiting until then.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. I'm like, I will draw. Where are you training? He goes, I'm doing Toronto. I'm doing Niagara Falls. We could do Niagara Falls. And it's like a week like past. I'm like, all right. So I asked you, and you're like, no, like 0%. I'm busy. You're picking somebody up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, that's not gonna work. And knowing me, I'm like, I don't force things like that. I'm like, okay. And then it was Toronto came up, and
Yes.
I said, okay, we'll do Toronto. And Niagara Falls was cheaper, but I said, screw it, we'll do Toronto. The difference with Niagara Falls, it was I think $200 cheaper a person, but we had to rent hotel rooms, whatever it was. But the hotel rooms were $200 a night, so we were renting 2 hotel rooms for 4 nights because I had
Yeah.
to give Taylor obviously her own.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I'm like, whatever. I don't worry about those things. I'm like, whatever, we'll figure it out. And you're like, won't work. I'm like, okay, Toronto it is. We'd pay more. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. I'll make it work. And then I looked at hotels. Like, these are expensive. I went on Airbnb, $75 a night. I'm like, done. Booked it right away. I'm like, I literally called him. Like,
Yo, is it 5 stars, bro? I'm not trying to die.
I don't know. It was good.
Okay.
Good. Like full for the whole year. Like literally the only weekend that place is available is ours.
See, that's this. Like,
And like the person was like, it came
up.
up. I pulled up the address, and it literally came up, and it's like this place usually is booked right now, is what it says on Airbnb. And I'm like, oh, okay. I click on. I'm like, yeah, this works. Boom. I call you up. I'm like, this is the price. I've literally punched into a spreadsheet. Like, e-transfer me the money. I've never gotten an e-transfer from Urjan so fast in his life. He was so happy. But we're doing this.
It was gonna be like this, and that. I'm like, okay, but no problem. Send me the transfer. Send me the amount. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never like been so excited to spend that much money.
I'm like, we're making it happen. It's happening right now. And he goes, okay. I go, we're just figuring it out as we go. And then that's this weekend. So we're doing the training for that. And we got other stuff we're working on right now that we got to talk about later. Different things with that and like tools and all that stuff. And then, yeah, we're going. We're ready to rock and roll.
Well, so real quick, you know when the shop is yours and when it's time to go from mobile to shop. When you know. Damn, that was a bar. Clip that.
No, it's honestly, you know, when everything works out. The other thing is you kind of know when you're ready. You just have that. You look and you're like, could I handle this? And for me, there was nowhere else I was going. It's like that was my next step. I didn't see another way. It presented itself in such a way where I'm like, this is my next step. Was it scary? Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Still it's scary.
Sure.
But you know, it is what it is. And I just jumped in. I'm like, well, if I fail, I meant to fail. Like people are like, are you nervous? I'm like, well, if I fail, I meant to. A little bit what I told them.
Reason, man.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how you know. You kind of just do it right. And I would say don't get too materialistic on stuff. Don't worry about the epoxied floors. Don't worry about all that crap. Get your shop going. You can improve stuff, later. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is. That's the best thing I can tell you about leasing. Is like some of the buildings I looked at, I'm like, dude, I can see outside through the wall. I'm like, I'm not renting this place.
I went to a shop real quick. It was like an old mechanic shop. Went to it.
I know the one.
All glass. It's like basically like honestly, might as well make the whole thing out of glass. There's so much glass doors, glass windows, like everything's glass. 2 garage doors, both sides, all glass. What the hell? Look, dude, rock thrown up. There was cardboard. It wasn't even plywood, brother. It was cardboard covering the windows. Look at the guy, straight face. Swear to God, I go, look at the owner. He was there. It was me, my realtor, the owner, the actual owner. I go, how much are you looking for this spot? He goes, 3,000. I looked at him and I laughed in his face. I couldn't hold it. I laughed in the guy's face, bro. I was like, have a good one. I just walked out. My realtor stayed back and talked to me. He's like, yo, I'm so sorry. I never gave him a card or anything, so I hopefully he never finds me, but laughed right in his face. I was like, there's no shot you're getting $3,000 for this place.
That place was up for lease for like a 1.5 years after that. I don't know if someone moved in there.
There is now, but I haven't seen anybody do anything with it. They repainted the whole thing.
Yeah, that area is terrible. Like, it should not be all glass. It should be solid doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in a good area. All right, but to end the podcast, hopefully that was a decent one. I mean, we threw out a lot of information, and hopefully, the best thing I can tell you is you're meant to be scared. That's what the guy was asking me today. He was like, "What do you do with like the fear of failing?" You kind of just ignore it. You kind of just do
You
it.
get used to it, kind of.
Yeah, you kind of just get used to it. We're just like, well, if I fail, I'll get back on my feet.
There's a
It's
couple.
kind Yeah, and it's kind of like the saying where it's like I'm confident in my abilities, but I'm also confident in my abilities to get back if I lose everything. So like if I went bankrupt tomorrow, I could probably have it all back and running in a year.
Yeah, with what you know, what you've done, experience,
Yeah. Oh,
confidence.
and like the other thing too is if I went bankrupt, I'd have a job at a big company and literally like in a detailing industry.
Connections, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally it'd be like no time. They'd be like, boom, okay, I'm already in the X company.
Dude,
Like,
a
it
video of epoxy floors so fast. I'm spending money out the rear end, bro.
All right. So to end that episode, hopefully you gathered some information there about when to move from mobile to a shop. Hopefully we gave you some ideas like what we went through and different things we've experienced along the way. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast. Website, suds2successpodcast.com, where we have all of our information, all of our links, everything. So if you're looking for like all of our social medias, or if you want to get discounts on CRMs and different stuff that we use, go there and you'll get that there. Suds2successpodcast.com. And then all social medias we're on pretty much for clips, Suds2Success on all those. As always, have a great day. Happy detailing, and let's see those shops when you get them. Take care.